Hello, Mechwarriors, and welcome back to Let's Play Mechwarrior Online. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and run my Kentaro tonight. Kitted up to almost be a bushwhacker. We're going to air quote that with a not bushwhacker, because aside from a couple changes that I had to make because of hardpoints, specifically the ERPBC and the extra heat sinks, the rest of the loadout is 100% what a bushwhacker has. I think my engine's bigger too, maybe. Anyway, not that big a deal. Let's go ahead and launch, guys. Alright. So what is our goal today? Let's try and win 2 matches instead of the 1 we did last time. Or at least let's not have a horrible, depressing, crushing defeat like that other match. The match that shall not be named. That was so stupid of me. Let's jump into the line of the missiles. That's a great plan. We may eventually find a match. Eventually. So anyway, I mentioned last time that I was really excited about the release of the clan mechs, but I didn't actually go into what the clans were. So let's go ahead and talk about that. Okay. So I mentioned last time that the Star League fell apart and all the little noble houses decided to start fighting over who should be in... Yeah, they started farting over it. No, they started fighting over who should be in charge. And, of course, that led to everything going terrible. Well, the reason the Star League fell apart is because of one guy named Stefan Amaris. He's a dick. He was a bit crazy, but the kind of crazy that actually gets stuff done. And he actually murdered the first Lord of the Star League and planted his fat, stinky butt on the throne. The problem with this being that the guy in charge of the military, he decided that that was a terrible idea, since Stefan Amaris was known for committing atrocities against the civilians. So, the general, by the name of Kerensky, decided to rebel. And the fight took forever, killed a lot of people, but they managed to win. They killed Stefan Amaris, and then everyone was like, so who's going to be in charge of the Star League? And Kerensky said, yeah, I don't give a shit. This is your problem now. And took his entire force, and they left the Inner Sphere for places unknown. Fast forward a couple hundred years, and all of a sudden this mysterious force comes in from outside of known space called the clans. And they're a warrior group whose entire purpose is to be the best warriors ever. Yeah, in a shocking twist that surprised no one. Well, it didn't actually surprise anyone except for the characters in the universe. They were the descendants of Kerensky's followers. Woo! Big shocking twist there. Oh, that was bad. Okay, I'm gonna pretend the one that actually hit the guy was mine. Anyway. Clans, right. So, it turned out that after the clans ended up outside of known space was kind of shit. There was nothing there. So they had to make do with what they'd brought with them, which wasn't a lot. Except they had a bunch of machines. War machines. They had a bunch of battle mechs. So they they tried to create a new utopian society, and that lasted about as long as Kerensky lived. And as soon as he kicked the bucket, all of his lieutenants were like, well, who's supposed to be in charge? Because he kind of died suddenly without saying who was in charge. So, I think I should be in charge. And the crap that was happening in the Inner Sphere started happening to the clans. Well, Kerensky's son was basically decided that was horrible. Because it was. And he came up with a new plan to save his people. Which was create a warrior race, blah blah blah, selective breeding to make the best warriors. Yeah, it was really weird. But it was very 1980s sci-fi, so it was cool. And, well, lo and behold, they became the best warriors in the universe. Even if they had a really weird, twisted moral code. We need to get under cover, quickly. A little bit of damage, not much. So anyway, the clans... Originally, their plan was to return to the Inner Sphere if the Inner Sphere was ever falling apart. They were supposed to go back and fix things. Eventually, when, you know, it turned out that nothing really bad did happen to the Inner Sphere, aside from the, you know, countless years of war and death and destruction. They decided that, some of the clans decided that maybe they should go back and claim it anyway. Because everything that they'd heard about the Inner Sphere basically said they were just absolutely terrible at ruling themselves. The sad part is they're not entirely wrong either about it.
New target acquired.
The Inner Sphere is incredibly terrible at ruling itself.
New target acquired.
But of course they don't want anyone else telling them how to live either. So, half the clans want to go back. Other half of the clans still believe that their mission is to save the Inner Sphere from an outside threat.
New target acquired. Critical damage. ERPPC destroyed.
Oh dear. I ended up someplace I didn't want to end up. Whoops. I was kind of hoping I could make that turn. Instead, I didn't.
Acquired.
Yeah, I'm in a bad spot. So the clans, they have basically a democratic vote as to whether to go back or not.
Destroyed.
And it's decided that they will.
Critical damage.
Oh, we need to get out of here so bad. No, 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 no. Get off of me.
Torso critical damage.
Oh, I'm not going to survive. Oh, come on. Just a little bit further. Oh! I didn't even see that guy there. Well, that's embarrassing. Anyway, so the clans... The clan's entire purpose is to, at this point, sweep back into the Inner Sphere and claim it for themselves to save the Inner Sphere. You know, now that I think about it, a lot of factions do that for the purpose of saving the Inner Sphere. Huh. Anyway. So, the clans have their fancy super battle mechs. They come sweeping back into the Inner Sphere, and then they learn that while their warriors are superior, there aren't quite enough of them. Because the houses of the Inner Sphere deal with the threat by taking all of their pilots and kind of just throwing them at the clans to overwhelm them. And, I mean, there's a little bit more behind that. Comstar, which is basically AT&T but for interplanetary distances, with about the same quality of service, mind you. They decide to help against the clans, but only after they helped the clans for a couple years. Once they learned the clan's objective was to hightail it to Earth and take over, then they went, oh, whoa, wait, we didn't know that was your plan. We can't help with that. Everyone would hate us forever. Which people still did, but slightly less so. Anyway. Oh, that ended well. I like how the mech just kind of froze. Didn't even fall over. Neat. So, yeah, anyway. The clans are actually stopped. The, Comstar had secret forces of battle mechs that they used to stop the clans. It reads better than it sounds, guys. So, Comstar is officially the saviors of the Inner Sphere, even though the Inner Sphere wouldn't have been in that position if Comstar hadn't been jerks to begin with. And, yeah. So, after that point, the clans technically could have kept going, but they started fighting amongst themselves because the original group that didn't want to come back to the Inner Sphere actually managed to get a little bit of support using the using their loss as proof that maybe they weren't supposed to be there. You know, go figure. So the clans start fighting amongst themselves, and in what is probably a move to negate the amount of damage that they did to their own setting, the creators of Battletech managed to get the clans to turn in on themselves and never advance further into the Inner Sphere. So the damage was done. Because the way that they were originally written, they shouldn't have had any trouble just steamrolling everybody. And yet, somehow, miraculously, the Inner Sphere survived. Thanks to Hidden Forces battle mechs. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah, clans. Okay, so the clans are out at the edge of space. They have no idea what to call themselves. And every single faction basically settled on Space Australia. As in, every single planet they visited was Space Australia for a different reason. Some places had freaking wolves whose hides were stronger than steel. Some of them had freaking birds of prey that could carry off small children. Yeah, they were just really terrible places to live. And anyway, the people who would eventually become the clans saw these predatory animals and said, hey, you know what? These guys keep ripping us apart. I think we should name ourselves after them. And that's why you have Clan Ghost Bear. You have, well, Clan Wolf, because generic? Jade Falcon. Diamond Shark. I'm not actually sure what's up with Diamond Shark. A little bit of background info, since no one really talks about Clan Diamond Shark. Clan Diamond Shark supposedly started off as the clan's merchant class, and they acquired giant stompy robots for profit. They also, further in the timeline, end up selling battle mechs to the Inner Sphere, while the clans are fighting them, mind you, for money. It's kind of why, out of all of them, the Diamond Sharks have so many people's respect, is because at least you know why they're there. But yeah, so you have all these awesome clans, and of course you have Clan Smoke Jaguar, who are War Crimes Incorporated, on a planet that they took over. In order to prove a point, they glassed an entire city from orbit to make a statement, which, of course, didn't help them, because all it did was piss people off. I like how there's an entire force of mechs down here with me. And what does the enemy do? He comes right after me. Huh. I managed to walk backwards off that. What is this, a blackjack? Alright, we can take this guy. Alright, we got that guy. So yeah, the clans named themselves after the nastiest predators on their planets. Speaking of the clans, Clan Wolf is generic. The Jade Falcons are, without exception, the most prideful losers in the galaxy.
Target acquired.
You know, I remember I mentioned that House Liao is kind of like the faction that everyone beats on. Clan Jade Falcon's kind of like that, but for the clans. They're really cool, they have an interesting backstory, and none of that matters because everyone kind of craps on them. Some of the other factions, Smoke Jaguar is War Crimes Incorporated. Of the other factions, I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh yeah, Clan Nova Cat's always my favorite. If I had to make a choice, I would always choose Clan Nova Cat, because they've been known to settle disputes by flipping a coin for it, or playing a soccer match. I'm not making this up. During the invasion, they actually gave away a planet to the Inner Sphere on purpose by calling a coin flip to be Edge. Despite the fact that they knew it wasn't going to happen. Where is he? Wow, just pretty far. Spin back, spin back. I'm out of ammo. Of all of the worst possible times to be out of ammo, I'd have to say that might be the worst. Okay, let's get back here under cover. How did I not get that leg? Got that leg. Got that guy. Let's see if we can take this guy out.
New target acquired.
We are not going to win this, I don't think. God, if we do win this, sheer dumb luck. And it will not be by me.
Critical damage.
Great. Come on. Nope. Yeah, we weren't winning that. Not bad for damage, though. Let's see how we're holding out. Nope. No. No, that's not happening. Guys. Really? Well, we may be able to win this. But only if our team manages to stay alive. Alright. We may actually win this. Anyway. So yeah. Clan Novacat. Totally awesome because they managed to win fights by flipping coins. Lose fights by flipping coins too, but whatever. They had this whole, like, mysticism thing. So, if they... Wow. Just... Wow. That's depressing. Anyway. Yeah, they had this whole mysticism thing going. So, if they felt that they were, justified in doing something, they would fight like crazy to pull it off. And of course, if it wasn't justified to do something, they'd sabotage it as much as possible. Which is actually what they ended up doing during the clan invasion. When the Inner Sphere finally managed to get their crap together and fight back, Clan Novacat was like, yeah, we're siding with you guys. It's good times. Well, hey guys, we played a couple matches, I think. I don't actually remember. I lost track of where we were at. Well guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it here. So, remember, if you enjoyed the episode, click like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I do lots of gaming videos. And I'll see you next time, Mechwarriors.